Okay, Kavan, you are live now.
Hare Krishna. Kritik Samhang Bolo Success Always Prabhupada. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and I'm really grateful for giving this opportunity to present today Bhagavad Gita. Before we start, we will sing a bhajan that is called Jai Radha Madhav. And Srila Prabhupada was very fond of this song, describe the spiritual world and Krishna and all his associates. So let's start with the song. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janava Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janava Girivaradhari Yasodhanandana Brajajanaranjana Yasodhanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamunatiravanachari. Hare Krishna. So now we will do the prayers to previous teachers, prayers to our own spiritual master, and prayers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all his associates, and ultimately Lord Sri Krishna and his all his energies, uh, to seek the blessings and to enter into this the highest subject matter is a spiritual science. So that can't be, it's not just a world jugglery or just by our own mundane knowledge, or we can enter into this. We need the blessings of our superiors, and especially the acharyas, those who have came from in the lineage of Krishna and who has passed down this knowledge from many generations. So let's do the pranam mantra. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shriyuta Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhan Vitamsha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं हरे कृष्णा Thank you so much, my dear Ashray Madhav Prabhu, for hosting this session, and
Thank you, Prabhu.
and all the online audience who has joined us at various channels. We deeply appreciate your presence here, and as I was explaining in the beginning, I'm grateful for this opportunity to spend some time on the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. As we all know, Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Lord Krishna in the battlefield to Lord Arjuna, to Arjun, his devotee and his friend. And broadly describing, Bhagavad Gita is divided into uh, there are 18 chapters, and 18 chapters are broadly described, broadly categorized into three compartments. The first six chapter, the middle six, and the end six. And in broad category, the first six chapters are the mainly emphasized on the how we can do from the karma yoga to the go to the dhyan yoga and ultimately end to the bhakti. The bhakti is emphasis of the whole Bhagavad Gita, but it's just through different means. Krishna is actually it's a natural dialogue, and it's nothing just between Krishna and Arjuna and discussing, and then Arjuna is asking various questions, and Krishna is answering, and ultimately telling that how it leads to the bhakti, or the greatest conception of God through personalism. And the middle six he specifically specifies about the bhakti yoga, and the last six we again see that this is called Gyan Yoga, and ultimately from through Gyan Yoga how we can reach ultimately conclusion to bhakti. So these are the very broad categorization of the Bhagavad Gita. So today I was thinking that we can take the topic of the talk is spiritual journey, and Bhagavad Gita in Krishna in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 7, which is the Vigyan Yoga, or the chapter 7, or the knowledge of the absolute. Krishna start describing uh, uh, very nicely. He started with the that we will see, like in the first chapter he says like how by hearing we can get the knowledge, and the reference it comes like how in the sixth chapter Krishna ends that yoginam api sarvesham madgatina antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam te me yukta tamamata. So in the 6.47 last verse of the chapter, Krishna says that of all the yogis, as I was telling, that Krishna takes Arjuna from journey from karma yoga to the dhyan yoga, and then after dhyan he says that the best is bhakti, and then he starts that in this chapter he says that how we can know him is just by hearing. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Sakta Mana Partha Yogam Yunjan Madashraya Asamsayam Samagram Mam Yatha Gyasasi Tashrunu. So this is a very, very important verse, 7.1, where Krishna is saying that how Tashrunu, just by hearing, and he specify various things that he says that Maya Sakta, like being attached to me, Maya Sakta Mana Partha, your mind attached to me, Maya Sakta Mana Partha, Yogam Yunjan, and do actively service for me, Yogam Yunjan Badashraya, and take shelter of me. Um, and when you do this, and starting from hearing, when you hear about me, then you will get to know all the other things. So the knowledge is focused, but it's a very specific kind of knowledge. It's not like a speculative knowledge that Krishna is asking. It's a very specific knowledge about the, and that's what in the next verse then he says, Jnanam te ham savijnanam idam vakshyami seshata yaj gyatva neha bhuyo naj gyatam vyam avasisyate. He says that I'm going to say you about the Gyan and Vigyan. And Gyan is generally refers to uh, the phenomenal knowledge or the worldly knowledge that is, and what Krishna is specifically saying that how his material and spiritual energy works. So that's what he's going to say. And then he says Vijnanam, not only just Jnanam, I'm also going to tell Vijnanam. Vijnanam is numinous knowledge or knowledge about himself, knowledge about his characteristics, his personality, what he likes, what he doesn't like, um, what his specific qualities, and about himself. Basically, we are all interested in person, right? If you see, it's not that the concept of just the abstract concept of or just company or anything. We are more interested in the person who is behind that company, or the or the movie or anything. If you see, there is a film star, cricket star, or the sports stars. We're all interested about the person and knowing about them. And in this material world also, similarly, Krishna is saying that I'll tell about myself. Who am I? Like, and as we understand from Bhagavad Gita, he's the source of everything. He's the greatest of all. So, and that's what like we see in the seventh chapter, and also in the next eighth chapter, he will Krishna preliminarily describe about the Gyan part, and then in the ninth chapter he will go to the Vigyan and he will tell more specific, and then from subsequent 10th and 11th he will tell about Gyan and Vigyan both. So that's what is the like flow of the chapter will happen in the next few chapters. So coming back to the seventh chapter, then in the third chapter he says that how it is so rare Bahunam. uh, he says that the first two, and then the third chapter, third verse, he says that I have to see the third chapter. Third verse, he says that Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvata. Like how out of is so rare, like out of thousands amongst men, one may endeavor for perfection, and one who has achieved perfection hardly once knows me in truth. So that's why I was telling this chapter is spiritual journey, and this spiritual journey, um, and every journey starts somewhere, and then Krishna is just telling the end, like how someone knows me in the truth is very, very rare. Hardly one knows me in the truth. So,
Prabhu, do you want me to share the screen or?
uh, um, yeah, if you want, you can share the screen. But I think I'm just going to do the currently just the quick review.
Okay. Okay. So then let me know when you want me to share the screen.
So the third verse, and then fourth and fifth, like, he says like how then he started describing about the his spiritual and material energy, and it's such an interesting thing to notice. Like Krishna says like how we are bhumi rapo nalo vayu khama mano buddhi revacha ahankare tyam vibhinna prakriti rashtadha. So he says like his inferior material energy, and what is that? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, intelligence, mind, intelligence, and false ego. So, what is this all? like this. He says like how our body is made of this gross element, earth, water, fire, air, ether, and there is a subtle element that is called mind, intelligence, and ego. And it's such a interesting thing that to know first about oneself. So it's basically uh, Krishna is going to describe about who we are, like as a living entity, and also what is this energy, what is like this nature, and the different manifestation of nature. And then he will describe about himself also, like who is beyond this, this this all these things. And then in the fifth verse, then Krishna says that that's okay, like your body and gross body and subtle body is made of that, but aparayam itastanyam prakriti vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho. Oh Arjun, there is another super energy of mind which comprises the living entity and who is exploiting the resources of this material inferior energy. So he says that yeah, that's good that you we have this external energy, but there is superior to this external energy is you, the living entity. And again, in the Shastra is described that even living entities, how they're marginal, means they Vishnu Sakti Para Prukta Kshetra Gyakya Tatha Para Avidya Karma Samgamya Tritya Sakti Ishyati. So he says like how the living entities are like a marginal potency. They can be either in the ignorance or in the or they can be in the knowledge. It's like the Prabhupada compares like in a sea, when we go to the sea and in the seashore, you'll see that there is a sand and the sand sometimes is wet and sometimes is dry. So that is the position of a living entity, that it is marginal or tatast is in Sanskrit, or in Hindi is called tatast, which is in the just in the border. And as His Grace Vaishika Prabhu says that he is open to suggestion, is the living entity, and whoever suggests him, he just takes it. Someone suggests him that open the bottle of happiness, and he sees the Coca-Cola and he sees the advertisement, and then he thinks that, oh, this living entity, that, oh, yes, if I open this bottle, then I'll get the happiness. Or someone's that says that this eternal delight, this chocolates, if you take, then yeah, eternal delight. So, well, they're all um, so everyone is trying to attract this living entity's attention, that okay, this will make you happy, because ultimately every living entity is looking for happiness. And that's what the aphorism of the Vedanta says, is like raso vaisa, and then we're all looking for that happiness. That is what we are looking as a living entity. And but the problem is that we are just looking at the wrong place. And that's what Krishna is trying to build up in this chapter. And as we grow, we will see. And interestingly, I thought about this chapter because a few days back, one of my very good friend Nitin, he asked some question to me, and that made me he asked me that, okay, how does this your journey started, spiritual journey? So I that made me to think, okay, how does this start? And then I found the answer in this Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, and we specifically the verse that is 16, 17, 18, where Krishna says that how someone surrenders, or how someone comes in a spiritual journey or inquire about him. So this class is kind of is precipitated by the question of my friend Nitin, who asked me this question, and I thought that, okay, yeah, it's interesting, and I tried to little bit dwell myself, okay, and go back to examine my own journey in this world, and that's why I thought to share this with all of you here today. So moving forward, we were there. How the soul is the like the dust, and then he can go to the higher or lower energy. And basically Krishna is saying in the then sixth chapter that that uh, he's the source of this both. All created beings have source in this two nature, and he's the and then in seventh he says that, oh Krishna, oh conqueror of the well, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as the pearls are strung on a thread. So he says that, oh, I am beyond all this, and actually, there's no truth superior to me, and everything rests upon me. So we can see that, we can imagine that how, as a living entity, he's just surrounded in this world, and Krishna is beyond this material world, and that's what he's looking forward. And so we can just see that we, as a living entity, are there in this world, and there is a Krishna who's beyond this world. And then verse 8 onwards, he started telling about this Gyan and the Gyan part, and specifically like how is like in this fourth verse, he says that is like water, taste, sorry, our body is made of this earth, water, fire, ether. And then he says like more specific, like in the eighth, for an example, rasoham apsukantiya, that I am the essence of that water. What is the water's essence? Is the taste. And the essence is saying that I am that essence of that water. That means I am the taste of water. Or the sun, I am the light of the sun and the moon. And so that's what he start describing in till verse number 11 or 11. And then 12th, he just summarizes that, hey, okay, all this actually is what is just the modes of nature. It's like different modes. And actually, and he says that, let me be. So yeah, he started describing, and then yeah, here 1 minute. Okay. So basically in the, yeah, we 12th verse, he says that, okay, they're all from different modes and they're all my energy, but I am independent, Krishna is saying, and I'm not under these modes of material nature, whereas they are under me. And then he says that what is the problem in this word is because the whole word is actually diluted by the three modes, and that's why they don't me. And so now the natural question, then he says that, okay, but if you want to know me, it's not that you can't get out of these moods. And that's what in the 14th verse he says that divine energy of my Devi Asa Gurmai, Mama Maya Duratya, Mami Ve Prapadyante, Maya Metam Tarantite. You can easily do if you just surrender unto me. If you just surrender, you can. There's three modes of material nature, which is very difficult to overcome. But those who are surrendered unto me, uh, they can easily cross beyond it. So now the next very interesting section starts, and where Krishna is kind of telling like a different broad categories. Uh, like in the 15th verse, he will say that the people or Duskriti, he's called, or the people, those who are impious, who doesn't surrender to him, like they're in the one spectrum. And then he will say the spectrum that who surrenders to him in the next three verses. And then he says that out of that which is the highest. And in the 19th verse, he says that, okay, how is bahunam janmanam ante or jnanaman mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudulabha, that soul who is in complete knowledge of me is very very rare. And that is what he Krishna described in 19th verse. And so these are the two categories: one who approaches him, one who doesn't approach at all him. And then the in between category, he says like how someone approaches indirectly me through the devatas or the demigods, in the verse number 21 to 23. And then 24 and 25, he explains that, okay, how even sometimes people approach the impersonal Brahman, and how they eventually reach to me once they get opportunity to associate with pure devotee. So that's what is the flow goes. And then at the end, Krishna is like, in the end of this chapter, he says like how येषां त्वन्तगतं पापं जननां पुण्यकर्मणां ते द्वन्द्वमोह निर्मुक्ता bhajante mam devata. Who worships me by the dream? One who has acted piously in this life and in the previous, uh, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, and are free from the duality of delusion, and they engage themselves in service with determination. So that's what he says, that when we acted piously. And I was hearing Prabhupada's lecture, and Prabhupada mentioned that what is acting in piously means that we are reducing our bodily demands. We are not so much just consumed by the demands of the body and the senses and the mind, but we are thinking more than that. And and it's basically following the social rules, regulation, and also the principles of the life, the four regulative principles of the life, which kinds of brings us to this human form. And as the Mahabharata very nicely says, that how ahar nidra bhay maithunam cha samanya etat pasubhi narana dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pasubhi samana. That how Ahar, Nidra, Bhai, Maithun. Ahar means the eatings. Ahar, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending is the four common qualities between man and an animal. And it is dharmo hi tesham, is the dharma, or the religion is not like a very complete correct translation of the word dharma. Dharma is much more beyond the religion. Is the nature, is the qualities, and and that's what we say when ultimately we surrender. And that are the verses that we are going to dwell today, in which we understand that the highest thing is that aham Jive Swarupa Hoy Krishna Nityadas. Like my eternal occupation is to be servant of Krishna. Because service is what is my natural quality. Service is what I am made. And then Prabhupada also says in many places like how we all serve. Mother is serving the son or daughter, or a countryman is serving his country, or a CEO is serving his company people. So we are all are serving. We are all serving someone. That is very constitutional. No one is there without serving. Everyone is serving someone. The politician is serving the country. The so that service is very inherent quality, and the highest service when we start it, that gradual evolution of our consciousness, when we start first think, oh, I'm not this body. I'm beyond this body. Body is just like my externally I am like a, in the fifth chapter Krishna says naivakinchit karomi iti manne तत्त्ववित् सिडमन् घृणन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् स्वप् अश्नन् गच्छन् स्वपन् स्वशन् प्रलपन् विसृजन् गृह्णन् उन्मिषन् निमिषन् अपि इन्द्रियाणि इन्द्रियार्थेषु vartanta iti dharayan. He says like how these senses are just going with this body, hearing, smelling, walking, and I'm aloof from them. So that is the first level of realization when people starts, okay, no, I'm beyond this body. I'm a soul actually, and that is my actual identity. I'm not this body. I'm beyond this body. And that is one of the very like in the first few chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we see that how Krishna is emphasizing on that fact in that point very vivid, like that you're not this body. Krishna is saying, and through various analytical understanding and other things, he says that you are when someone dies, it's just the soul is transmigrating from one body to another. It's not that the person has died. The soul is eternal. Antamant ime deha nityasyokta saririna. The body is temporary, but the soul is eternal, and the soul is just passing through. He says, "Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tatra na muhyati." How the soul is just dehinosmin yatha dehe, like the soul is just passing from one body to another body. And Krishna is giving such a nice analogy that how like when we change the sir de he knows me yatha de ko, like in this body itself, like when we were in the childhood, then we were in the adulthood, and then eventually we will grow old. If someone asks you or someone asks me that, hey, are you the different person, are you the same? So actually I'm the same person. It's just the body has changed from my small body, maybe medium body, and then one day this body will be just grow. And similarly Krishna says that okay, that is just evolution within this body, but similarly at the time of death the soul passes to another body. And another verse that he says in second chapter, Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinati naro parani tatha sarirani vihaya jirnani anyani sanyati navani dehi. And here he gives another good analogy of the third, like how a person who changed the clothes, right? Like I was wearing some yellow color cloth yesterday. Today I might be wearing white color. So, but the person is same. Like I am the same, but it's just I changed the cloth. Similarly, Krishna is saying that Vasansi, like we don't attach myself with the old cloth. Similarly, the souls do not attach with the bodies. It just body is just external manifestation that we have got from karma, and that's what in the eighth chapter we see that one of the question Arjuna asks what is karma, and then Krishna is saying that karma means you have to take body. And um, uh, yes, so let's get back to our present context. And so present, as I was telling that so verse number 15th onwards, Krishna is giving that broad category of the spiritual journey. And the first he says that na mam duskritino mudha. prapadyante naradhama mayaya aparita jnana asuram bhavam ashritam. So he says that there are four kind of duskriti, or like this called sukriti. Sukriti means pious, and similarly duskriti means impious people. And he says that those there are four kind of duskritis, and they are the first one who is like a mudha or foolish, like animal. He's like a just working, but he doesn't know why he's working. Like a ass, his example is given. He just uh, the honor is just giving him, as is a very peculiar quality, that the honor is giving grass to him, and he thinks that honor is supplying me the grass, and then he thinks that okay, um, because he's supplying grass to me, I had to do everything. I had to do everything, and the same grass is available everywhere else, but he can't put that that knowledge, that, and then he just work hard for something that is that brings like power. Prabhupada says pa fa ba bha ma parishram, fame, vyarthata, and and at last mrityu. Just following in the spiritual life is for apavarg, going beyond this pavarg. So anyway, so that is the fullest person, that is the mudha, and then there's the lowest among mankind. These are the people who even realize that okay, that there is some God, but then they foolishly, they are lowest among mankind. They just left the bhakti, or they just left the Krishna concept, or they just left the spiritual path. Third is those who are knowledge is stolen by illusion, the like Mayavadis, or those who think that God is not personal. It is like is ultimately like we had to just merge into some impersonal voidism, or we had to, there is no yeah, so there's kind of stolen by illusion. And the fourth is like those who outright deny the God, like atheist. So he's saying that they don't surrender to me. So so they are the four categories of people who doesn't surrender to me at all. And then so yeah, so let's go to the where the journey begins. So this is one spectrum, but then the next verse Krishna is saying that okay, which are the fourth people which who surrender to Krishna. And then here he says chaturvidha भजन्ते मां जना सुकृतिनो अर्जुना आर्तो जिज्ञासुर अर्थार्थी ज्ञानी च भरतर्षभा. So we can see that we can have like there four lines, and here the third line is artho jigyasur artharthi. These are the one category, and the fourth is jnani cha bhartarsabha. So he says that, O best among the bharatas, four kind of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me, and they are the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. So these are the four category of the people, those who generally approach for a spiritual life, but they're already pious, and then they approach uh, uh, when they are having something that uh, that is making them. And so we'll read Prabhupada's purport, and then we will go for discussion for this and the subsequent two verses, which are the subject matter of today's class. So purport, I'll start, and if anyone of you also would like to read, please jump in for the next paragraph. Unlike the miscreants, so the purport is by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada is the one, is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and he painstakingly given this Bhaktivedanta purport so that we can dwell more into the subject matter and get the correct understanding. And so let's start. Unlike the miscreants, these are adherents of the regulative principles of the scriptures, and they are called Sukriti, or those who obey the rules and regulations of the scriptures, the moral and social laws, and are more or less devoted to the Supreme Lord. Out of this, there are four classes of men: those who are sometimes distressed, those who are in need of money, those who are sometimes inquisitive, and those who are sometimes searching after knowledge of the absolute truth. These persons come to the Supreme Lord for devotional service under different conditions. These are not pure devotees. because they have some aspiration to fulfill in exchange for devotional service. Pure devotional service is without aspiration and without desire for material profit. The Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu defines pure devotion thus: Anyabhilasita sunyam jnana karmadhyanabritam anukulyena krishnanu silanam bhaktiruttama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. When these four kinds of person come to the Supreme Lord for devotional service and are completely purified by the association of a pure devotee, they also become pure devotee. As far as the miscreants are concerned, for them devotional service is very difficult because their lives are selfish, irregular, and without spiritual goals. But even some of them, by chance, when they come in contact with a pure devotee, also become pure devotee. So yeah, so I that's what I found in my life. I can totally relate this selfish, irregular, and without spiritual goals, and and that's what all of us can have like some experience. We might be in the some might be in the four kinds of person like which we discuss: um, distress or want of something or jnani or inquisitive or in this case, but I think the one main point that Prabhupada is highlighting, how the association of pure devotee is so powerful that by any means if we come in touch, it is supremely beneficial, and we can become pure devotee. So in this regard, um, we can yeah, we can continue first purport and then we can go more discussion. If anyone else will like to read, you're welcome to um, read the with me.
Okay, Prabhu, I can read.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Those who are always busy with fruitive activities come to the Lord in material distress, and at that time associate with pure devotees and become, in their distress, devotees of the Lord. Those who are simply frustrated also come sometimes to associate with the pure devotees and become inquisitive to know about God. Similarly, when the dry philosophers are frustrated in every field of knowledge, they sometimes want to learn of God and they come to the Supreme Lord to render devotional service and thus transcend knowledge of the impersonal Brahman and the localized Paramatma and come to the personal conception of Godhead by the grace of the Supreme Lord or his pure devotee. On the whole, when the distressed, the inquisitive, the seekers of knowledge, and those who are in need of money are free from all material desires, and when they fully understand that material remuneration has nothing to do with spiritual improvement, they become pure devotees. As long as such a purified stage is not attained, devotees in transcendental service to the Lord are tainted with fruitive activities, the search for mundane knowledge, etc. So one has to transcend all this before one can come to the stage of pure devotional service.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. So yeah, we can see that in this chapter, and I was referring to the one of the class by His Grace Chaitanya Chand Prabhu, who is like such a genius, mastermind, spiritual scientist, and he was mentioning in a very simple term the first three people, the Artho, Jigyasu, Artharthi. Arth has different meanings. Arth like some artha is like if you see artharthi, one who arthi, one who desires material gain. Like we have arth mantri, or sometime what is the artha, what is the earth, or what is the meaning. So someone is like different earth people are looking, but it is all mostly related to the material gain. And similarly, those who are distressed. So he was telling like how, as we discussed in the chapter we started with, right? We told that okay, um, we are basically spiritual being, like we are a spiritual being, but then we have world surrounding us, and then so that is a one circle that we are surrounding us, and then there is a Krishna that is beyond beyond this material world, as he was saying in this chapter. So so the first three category of the people, artho, jigyasu, artharthi, they they think that this word, basically I am not good for this word. Basically they are thinking that I am not good, so I need some help, and they're trying to improve themselves in this world, but their thinking is that I'm not good for this world. And and they think God as a means to get to the world. So they are approaching the God so that they can be better situated in this world. So that is what they are looking for. And the fourth category, what was Jnani, his thinking is that word is not good for me. So he already understood that okay, this word is not like, I'm not completely happy or not completely satisfied. So there has to be some place where completely satisfaction should be there, or real happiness should be there. Or as Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter says that urdhvamulam adha sakham aswatham prahuravyam chandamsi yasya parnani yastam veda savedavid. Like, this word is a reflection. He could realize that this word is a reflection of that reality, and the actual happiness is somewhere else. I'm spiritual, and there should be some spiritual happiness somewhere. So word is not good for him, and he takes this word, the circle that we saw around us, to reach to the God or to reach to the Krishna. So there is a difference between these two categories uh, of the people which Krishna is mentioning in the word, in this basically uh, in this thing. And if we analyze further, actually there are like different kinds of bhakti, and one is like keval bhakti, what we read in this verse, that if you remember that verse where Krishna Prabhupada is saying anya bhilasita sunya jnana karmadhyana, that is like ananya bhakti, or that is the like the supermost bhakti. And the second level of bhakti is like, actually interestingly, Krishna had six kinds of devotee he specifies in this chapter. And and we'll see at the last with six kinds of. And the second category of the bhakti is like those who are like in this category, which are looking like karma mishra bhakti. Basically, they are artho, jigyasu, artharthi. They are distressed, and they're looking to the God and to help them so that they can better situated in this world. And the third one is the gyan misrit bhakti. Basically, the bhakti, gyan is there, but it's mixed with bhakti. Sorry, the gyan is, yes, the gyani is just still like he's trying to analyze, okay, it's not this body, he's beyond this body. And then gradually he's looking to get into uh, the impersonal Brahman conception, and then to the Paramatma, and eventually to the Bhagwan. So that is the path that he's going through. But still the bhakti is the prominent feature in that, not the other three things. So it's still the karma and gyan is there, but they are mixed with. But the main prominence is bhakti, and that's what they are making progress. And so in this chapter, then, so the verses that as it progress, and then he was telling that how, the Chaitanya was giving very simple example that how, if we just see, right, is first phase we starts with that, okay, I need Krishna to get my internal, like my external fulfillment, so that I can be better situated. But as I was telling, the gradual evolution happened, that we understand, no, it is not by adjusting the word outside us will make us happy. It's something that we have to do inside. That is what we have to fix. And if we fix that, if we realize that okay, who we are, and we are in right knowledge, and we have the right quality, right attitude, and we fix that internal things, then we realize, oh no, that is the that is a spiritual journey. And the highest, when we realize that no, being after that is the Krishna is the best gift by Krishna. Basically, the highest part is to reach to the Krishna. And if we have Krishna, then everything is all good. And that's what the Bhagavatam also says. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagvatya kinchana sarver gunas tatra samasate shura harava bhaktasya kuto mahadgunat manorathena sati dhavato bahi. That how the bhakti is the supermost, and and if you're just Krishna, is that all other things are achieved. So manorathane otherwise we are just running in the mental speculation. So that is a very interesting evaluation graduation happen. And he also gives very nice example of a, suppose a like a kids or the teenagers, they definitely, they he was giving an example that how the teenager, suppose sometime he may just think that if he is in some difficulty he will try everything, and whatever he or she has in his hand to try. But at last, suppose if nothing is working, then he will come to the parent, and the parent and they will ask, okay, I'm now in trouble. And parent will, the first thing he will tell the parent will tell the children that, oh, why not you came me early? It's not that why you're coming. So that was his Krishna is here. Like Krishna is that loving parent who's, even people comes at to him, and he lovingly accept their whatever they are. And he just he just because he's just looking for the love for us, love from us. He's not looking anything else. He's just looking for love, that love, if you are approaching him, and that love makes him happy. And then that loves and that's what is the Vigyan part, the realization part that we were telling, that in how Krishna imparts in this chapter. So as we will see, this was 16th chapter, and 17, 18th, he, Krishna says that Udaraha sarva evate jnani tvatmeva me matam astita sahi yuktatmas. So he says that Udara, he says that all these are so magnanimous. They are such a great soul. Even they're approaching, even though Krishna knows that they're approaching with certain motives, but still he says them, they're all Udara. Udar, who are the Udar? If you say Udar word, that are the magnanimous, but Krishna is telling them they're all Udar. Because Krishna is looking for love. And even as we know, in the Bhagavatam, in one of the verse, Krishna says that, let me pull that verse, is in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Database is in the, if I lucky to get that, 5:19:27. Yeah, so let me share my screen so we can all see that verse. Where satyam disati arthitam arthito nidam yat punararthito yata swayam vidhate bhajatam anikshitam iksha pidhanam nijapada pallavam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead fulfills the material desires of a devotee who approaches him with such motives. But he does not bestow benediction upon the devotee that will cause him to demand more benedictions again. However, the Lord willingly gives the devotee shelter at his own lotus feet, even though such a person does not aspire for it. And that shelter satisfies all his desires. That is the Supreme Personality's special mercy. So you can see that correlation from the Bhagavad Gita verse that we were reading, and then this verse where Krishna is saying that, yeah, they come for material desire, they're approaching me. But as I was telling, there are three phases. The first phase, but the second, when we start first phase, we just think that our word, I need to just adjust my word around. And but the second phase, when we start realizing that no, it is not the word, it's just me. I had to have the right expectation, or I had to have right attitude in this word. And my right expectation, as Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, right, in the 8th chapter, very famous 15th verse, like how this word is dukhalayam ashashvatam. This word is full of misery, and dukhalayam ashashvatam is temporary. So when we adjust our right expectation in this word, and then we will live, then gradually it purifies inside. And obviously the part that the bhakti that we are specific where we are discussing today, it has its own process, like chanting the holy name of the Krishna is the way, one of the very, very powerful method to that helps is us in that cleansing process. Hearing the Bhagavad Gita, as Krishna says, Shrunvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana Hidyantastu Bhadrani Vidhunoti Suhit Satam. How the Vidhunoti Abhadrani, all the Abhadras are Abhadrani, Vidhunoti Suhit Satam. And it just cleanses the when we hear the holy name, when we hear the Bhagavatam, is the Punya Sravan, is the best pious activity, best Punya that we can get. Punya Sravana Kirtana. And then So that is the process that we engage in the Navavidha Bhakti that start with Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam. So it's like Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam Nivedanam, Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu, Bhaktisyeva Neva Lakshana. So it says like in the Yamraj in the Bhagavatam in the sixth canto, when he was there is a conversation, a very famous pastime of Ajamila, and where this verse comes that how there are now Vida Bhakti. Oh no, sorry, am I missed? Not in that section. This is in I think this is in Prahlad Maharaj section, right?
Ambarish.
No, no, Prahlad. I think so. It's in Prahlad Maharaj section.
Okay.
Sorry, it's one of them. My memory is fine.
Maybe Ambarish Maharaj, they're saying.
Yeah, so in one of the section in Bhagavatam where it says like how this nine process of bhakti we can engage, and any of the nine processes is very very effective. So either you can do one or the all nine, and there's so much great examples are there. And this verse, when we were reading, actually, in the scriptures, we can also find a great examples of each one, like the category of Artho, Jigyasu, Artharthi, Gyani. So one of the Artharthi, or we can also see the when we know the Dhruv Maharaj story from the fourth canto, how he was a just 5-year-old boy, and one day he was trying to um, sit on his father's lap, and then his co-mother or stepmother came and he told that no, you can't sit on your father's lap. It's only my son has the right to sit in his lap. And then he just asked uh, Dhruva to get down. And Dhruva, who was just a small 5-year boy, he was just in so much distress and so much angry that how can this possible? And he approached his mother who was Suniti, and he asked Suniti that why it happened. And Suniti told so frankly to him that because I am not the favorite queen of the king, Uttanpad is the Suruchi who is the favorite, and that's why king is favoring her. And then but she gave her the best advice that if you want, then that if you want, you should approach Krishna. You should approach Krishna for the because he can award you kingdom much bigger than your father or even great grandfather Brahma. And Suniti gives her that advice. And here the little Dhruva, he goes into the Madhuvan, and actually he started for jungle. He doesn't know where he's going, and then he met with the saint Narad Muni, who helps him with the mantra. And actually, no, first he tests his determination that, hey, Dhruva, are you really what you're doing here? Like, there's so much animals, this, that, and he started trying to give different things. But Dhruva was very fixed in his determination, and uh, and ultimately by seeing his sincerity, Dhruva Narad Muni gives him the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and tells him that how the process through which he can see the Vishnu. And then Dhruva follows that method and rigidly, and it's all very nicely described in Bhagavatam in the fourth canto, chapter 8th, 9th, where it's explaining Dhruva Maharaj's pastime. And when ultimately, when even Dhruva Maharaj stopped eating, drinking, and 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 finally by the Vishnu become pleased, and then he comes and he placed his hand on the Dhruvas, and Dhruva, when he opens his eyes, and then he he realized that what he was doing, and there's a very famous verse um, that so much quoted by our acharyas. Sthanabhilasi tapasi sthitoham tvam praptavan deva munindra gohyam Kachan vichinvannapidivyratnam swamin kritarthosmi varam nayache. So here Dhruva Maharaj is saying, when he was being blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaj said, "Oh my Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe types of penances and austerity. Now I have gotten you, who are very difficult for the great demigods, saintly persons, and kings to attain. I was searching after a piece of glass, but instead I have found a most valuable jewels. Therefore, I am so satisfied that I do not wish to ask any benediction from you. So as you can see that how he appeared, he approached, Dhruva Maharaj approached the sorry, um, Lord Vishnu for some material, and then he said that it was just like a piece of glass, and I found the most valuable jewels in you, and I'm so satisfied that I do not ask any benediction from you. That's what the previous verse that we were referring, how Krishna, when he fulfills the desire, um, that will cause him demand, but he does not bestow benediction upon the devotee that will cause him to demand more benediction again. That is his special mercy. And sorry, and this is the what we see in this verse, and the case study of Dhruv Maharaj, and also or even Artho. So the Artho, the distress. There is a famous story of Gajendra, who was who has got the feet of in his feet the crocodile in the eighth canto of, in the chapter second, third, and fourth, where he's crying. And he just says to God, whoever is Supreme God, please save me. I'm in such a distress. I don't know what to do in this situation. And he sincerely pray and cry to the God, please appear, please save me from this place. And then we know that there is a Vishnu came in the Garuda, and then he cuts at once the head of a crocodile, and then and he also liberate the Gajendra, who was actually King Indradu in his past life, and who got the curse, and then he became a king. And even the crocodile was who anyway. So the point there, what is making that even they approach in these conditions, and even they may not be the highest things, but even because they're approaching the God, Supreme Godhead, Krishna, they get ultimately his shelter. And this is exactly the same example as I was telling, that a parents and a sons example, where parent are unending love or unending um, they wait unending love they have for their kids. Similarly, the Supreme Father, as Krishna says himself in Bhagavad Gita, right? Pita hamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. He's the father of grandfather. He's the everything of all of us. So yes, so let's get back. Now, since it's 1 hour, I'm just talking one way. I'll just stop here. If devotee have any question, and I do see there's a question. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I was just, if you go back to the translation where it says it talks about the benediction.
Which one, Mataji? The which verse?
Yeah, yeah, this is the one. But he does not bestow benediction upon devotee that will cause him to demand more benediction again. I was wondering, isn't that what we do? Like one wishes gets fulfilled and then we ask another. So does it mean that Krishna will not fulfill the wishes like this again and again? I mean, if you ask something, it gets material desire, of course, it gets fulfilled. But then if you keep asking, those desires will not get fulfilled. Is that what it is talking about? And I could understand like what exactly
Wow, excellent.
is.
No, it's an excellent question. So that's what, like, the difference between the demigod worship and the Krishna's worship is in nutshell. I'll try to describe. And in demigods worship, they will keep fulfilling your desires. So you'll keep asking again and again. But in case of Krishna, actually, that's what I was telling you, the three phases. First phase, you just realize that, okay, you have a desire, like you need to adjust your world around you. But in the second step, you go further and you realize, no, problem is within me, or problem is that something that I need to adjust myself rather than I adjust all other things. Right. So that kind of realization comes in the devotee's heart through the mercy of Krishna, that it is not I need to adjust. And that's what in the Dhruv Maharaj's prayer I showed you the same thing.
Yeah,
That it is sorry, when he realized that, okay, no, what I was looking for is a broken piece of glass. So it's a realization that comes to your heart, and it like a very strongly comes to you that no, what I'm looking is um, it's like
temporary, and it's not. I mean, it's never fulfilling.
Yeah, so that kind of so that's the benediction. So that benediction, that realizations come within your heart. That
Mm.
okay, what I'm looking for is not, and it's not artificial. It's like you can see that the Dhruva Maharaj's prayers, it was
Yeah.
very. He has realized that it's not. He's just saying that, oh, because I could not get fulfill this desire, or he realized that and that what happened after that actually. Lord Vishnu comes and he says that no, you had to rule 36,000 years. And after this 36,000 you rule, you will go back to the Dhruv Loka where you'll be eternally existing, right? So
Mm.
so Krishna can also that sometime that even he can he can either he can completely and from your heart. So then there's a difference when now when Krishna says that even though he's doing the same material the activity, or he has a kingdom, bigger kingdom, but then he doesn't desiring internally. He's external, he's internally detached. He's just doing
Mm.
externally as a service. So that is the thing. Maybe sometime we might get into something that we ask Krishna and uh, first phase maybe really we are looking, but next phase is just we are doing as a duty, or um, we are not really attached because we realize that okay, these things are not something that will make me happy, real happy.
Okay. Yeah, got it, Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for the nice question.
Miss, it's not like he will not fulfill, but what he's trying to say is that you would not like to ask him again and again, like the material desire, like material, your wishes and all, right? I mean,
Right.
within your heart, you will be satisfied and yeah,
Yeah,
got it.
so why we're asking, that's what like the first the excellent example I was telling, that there are two things. Um, like I myself, you can see that I'm in a circle or I'm in a rectangle, which is a
Mm,
word around me, and God is beyond this word, and I'm taking God's help to adjust my this worldly things so that I can be betterly situated in this world. But the second case is that I'm still in the world, but I know that this I am in this world, but this word is not good for me. So in the first case, I'm not good for the world, so I'm taking help from the God to get better for this world.
mm,
But in the second case, when you realize that okay, this word is not good for me, so then you're not looking anything to adjust in this word. You already know that this word cannot satisfy me. Whatever I'm looking is not good enough for me. And
yeah.
so like the example, right? Like
Mm,
people work so hard, they earn like million, then billionaire, then multi-billionaire, and even they become like, but still they think their aim is again to earn the next billion or next billion, next billion, and that will because they never realize that okay, this make adding another billion will not really satisfy me.
it's never ending. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had not realized that fact. But if suppose someone has realized
Mm,
that fact, even suppose he became a billionaire, after that he realized that fact, then he realized that okay, no, this is not that is satisfying. There is something beyond this. So
mm,
that realization will be imparted only by the association of devotees or association of bhakti. That's what Prabhupada was pointing in the purport. That somehow or other, if someone get the association of pure devotee and they get understanding of bhakti, uh, uh, because the pure devotees are who? Pure devotees are actually his
mm,
representative. And
yeah.
in the second canto, fourth chapter, verse number 18, it says like Hirat Hunanda Pudinda Pulkasa Avira Sumbha Yavana Khasadaya Yenne cha Pap Yadapa Shraya Shraya Sudhyante Tasme Prabhavishnave Nama. So it lists down all the different kind of varieties of living entities. Khirat, like Khirat means like what like they are just subsist, they just rob or they just dacat, like this kind of people. And recently we had a Ram Navami, and you might be knowing that famous story of Valmiki Muni, who was from the Khirat. He was from a Khirat kind of people, the category of the people, and he was like he was a dacat or what you call robber, and
Mm,
he was trying to rob whoever comes, and then somehow the seven sages comes once in that and one of them was Narada, and then this Kirat, he approached that seven sages, and then he told the sages asked him why you came here. Then he told that came to, and he very straightforward told, I came to rob you all. I came to just steal. And then they ask him that, okay, it's fine that you came to steal from us, but do you know what will be the consequences of this, or how much karma will you get? And then that put some thought in him. And then they subsequently ask, okay, why you're doing all this? He told, I'm doing for my family. Then he told, okay, are you doing for your family? So do you think that your family will like to take this karma or whatever you'll accrue from this? And he was not sure. So he told, okay, why not you go and check with your family? And then he goes and check back with his family. And then his family told, no, we are not going to take any karma. And when he came, that kind of gives him further that realization dawn in him that no, what I'm doing is wrong. Just by that questioning of that saints, their person, their association, made this question to him. And then you know that famous thing that they told him that you should chant the name of Ram. And then the Kirat, he told that no, and he started trying to chant somehow very, but he's not able to even pronounce that name, because he told that I'm so sinful that I'm not able to pronounce. Then they told that, okay, if you can't pronounce that Ram, then you tell. So that all the saints are the real real intelligent people. So they told, okay, why not you pronounce Mara? And he told, okay, you pronounce Mara, 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 and by doing that, you will become more and more purified. And then they left that place. And then after a few years or some time, again the Narad Muni comes, and then he saw that there's become a big ant hill, and that in that big ant hill, he could, when he put his ears, he could see that somewhere someone is saying Mara, 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 and then he he could understand that how he has purified himself. Like whole great ant hill came, and then he asked. Narad Muni told that you come back, come out of this things, and then he gave him more kind of instructions that how he will get this the greatest opportunity to see the Lord Ram's pastime as he is seeing in front of him in his same room. And that's why his name become Valmiki. Valmiki means one who comes from the ant hill. That is the,
Mm.
that is the meaning of Valmiki.
Valmiki. Yeah, yeah,
So he became Valmiki, and that's what we can see, the power of association and power of chanting. It's like
yeah,
unbelievable. Like a person who's like adamant to just do all the wrong things, and then how he gets the supreme benediction, and he forget about again robbery. He and it was not, it was just some introspection. It was their blessing, and then his question that made him,
yeah,
or yeah.
yeah. Thank you, bro. Thank you for explaining it nicely.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
If anyone has any other questions or
I'm just checking online, Prabhu. I don't see any questions online. Uh, anyone else has any question? You can ask Mukharavinda, and you can have some comments also, I guess.
yeah,
Mukharavinda
anything,
Prabhu
comment
will
or
be
anything that you
Mukharavinda
appreciate.
Prabhu will be fine with that. Yeah. So Prabhu, I was other than pure devotees, right? This seventh chapter, I was looking at. There are other than pure devotees, there are three categories. There are three categories of people, right? So one category is, of course, they don't want to surrender, right?
Yes,
And then for various reasons, right? They either their knowledge is stolen by illusion, or they are completely away from spiritual path. So one of those four categories, four types of people, right? Another category is they have problems in life. It's not that the first category doesn't have any problem in life. They have, but they never come to Krishna. Right? They think that they can solve it themselves. And the second category, they know that if they come to Krishna, the problems will be solved. Right? So even though they are in problems, to get the problem fixed, they come to Krishna. And the third category is they are not that inimical to Krishna. They know scriptures, and but they still don't come to Krishna. And Krishna then through the heart tells them, okay, you go to this demigod, right, or you go to that demigod and fulfill your desire, right? And and after many lifetimes, basically they realize that, it's not serving the purpose. If they are in the, cycle of birth and death, that they go to planet of demigods and they come back, right? In all the three categories, I think in one of the purports in Bhagavad Gita you are mentioning that he does send, even though those who so inimical to Krishna, to them also he sends his pure devotees. Because these people may be inimical to me, but my pure devotees are so nice, so gentle, that they will not be able to ignore them. So he has more confidence on pure devotees that they can, which I could not do, these people can do. Basically, my pure devotees can do this. So he sends them to all the three classes, three categories of people, and they do a pretty good job, basically. With recently 50 years back, Srila Prabhupada, and then his disciple Srila Prabhupada, what he did to West, and his dear disciples, what are they doing to the whole world currently, right? It shows that, that is true even in this age. Basically, it is true, not just 5,000 years back, right? The Lord Krishna's pure devotees are doing their miracle even today, basically. I mean, this thought came into my mind when you were reading. I think that it is the purport of that particular verse where,
Yes.
they don't want to surrender, but then Srila Prabhupada is writing the pure devotees are even bringing them to devotional service, right? Even these kind of people also, they are bringing them to, and they are successful in that.
That's a wonderful, such an amazing realization. Let me just share so that we can all again go to that thing, the one that is highlighted then. That's another thing. So, yeah. When these four kinds of persons come to the Supreme Lord for devotional service and are completely purified by the association of pure devotees, they also become pure devotees.
Yeah.
As far as the miscreants are concerned, for them devotional service is very difficult because their lives are selfish, irregular, and without spiritual goals. But even some of them, by chance, when they come in contact with a pure devotee,
Yes.
also become pure devotees.
Yeah. This is the one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, thank you. It's very nice. Even I noted that, and actually, that is the Krishna says in the next verses, like even Jnani is like myself. So you can see in the येषां ज्ञाने नित्ययुक्ता एकभक्तिर्विशिष्यते तुयो हि ज्ञानिनो त्वर्थम aham sacha mama priya.
Yeah.
It says that of this, the one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best. For I am very dear to him and he is dear to me. So maybe we can read this. Free from all contamination of material desires, the distress, the inquisitive, the penniless, and the seeker after supreme knowledge can all become pure devotees. But out of them, he who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, Prabhupada even says in lectures like philosophers, and
Yeah.
free from all material desires, become a really pure devotee of the Lord. And of the four orders, the devotee who is in full knowledge and is at the same time engaged in devotional service, the Lord say is the best. By searching after knowledge, one realizes that his self is different from his material body. And when further advanced, he comes to the knowledge of impersonal Brahman and Paramatma. When one is fully purified, he realizes that his constitutional position is to be the eternal servant of Krishna, God. So, by association with pure devotees, the inquisitive, the distressed, the seeker after material amelioration, and the man in knowledge all become themselves pure. But in preparatory stage, the man who is in the full knowledge of the Supreme Lord and is at the same time executing devotional service is very dear to the Lord. He who is situated in pure knowledge of the transcendence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so protected in devotional service that material contamination cannot touch him. And this is the last verse that I wanted to read for today. Udara sarva evete jani twatmeva me matam asthita sahi yuktatma mamevanuttamam gatim All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls. That's what I was telling Udara. He said that all these four are magnanimous souls. But he who is situated in knowledge of me, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. So that's what I was telling here. Krishna is saying that who is situated in knowledge is considered like himself. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal. So being engaged in my transcendental service, he will attend me. But you have to understand that Krishna is saying that the devotees are even better than me. That's what the pure devotees are even better than that means. Here, Gyani, he just tell that they are like me, but we know the other places where Krishna says that devotees are even better than me, or because of the reason that you are quoting.
Yeah, they're able to bring everyone to.
Correct, correct. Yes. So let's read this purport. It is not that devotees who are less complete in knowledge are not dear to the Lord. The Lord says that all are magnanimous because anyone who comes to the Lord for any purpose is called a Mahatma or great souls. The devotee who wants some benefit out of devotional service are accepted by the Lord because there is an exchange of affection. So that we have to understand. Like the example I was giving, that the son and the kids might come to the parents at the last and as a last option, but still they feel that affection because parents are so magnanimous, right? Similarly, Krishna is magnanimous that he feel that even he's coming with some motive, he accept as an exchange of affection. Out of affection, they ask the Lord for some material benefit, and when they get it, they become so satisfied that they also advance in devotional service. So this is the very key point to remember is like asking God is not like something we have done like some big offense. We all have to be sincere and sincere in the stage we are in, and if we are sincere, then we know that that assurance of Krishna is there, that we will go to the next step. It's not that we will just stick to the same, because that's what this verse is, and this other references that I showed is telling that, because it's not like artificially we just try to not have that feeling, oh no, pure duty doesn't ask, so I'll not ask. I know that that is the highest, but we have to come to that stage gradually as we're growing and advancing in our spiritual life. Just ask him other Prabhu, you have some points.
No, yes, yes, you're. Otherwise, no, no. Most of the people are in that category. No one will come to devotional service, right? So
Yeah.
we have to, and pure devotees know that. Pure devotees know that. So even though they see that people like me, basically, they have material desire, still they give shelter, basically, because they know someday he will be he will become go to that path. He or she will come go to that path.
And as I was saying that this chapter is one of my friend asked me this question, and I was when I was examining myself, I definitely found that when I was in college studies, and then I could find that all around people around me is something that they have different values, and I'm not matching with that. So I was somewhere distressed, and also there was like I started chanting, and then I could see that how my concentration level increased much more, and my marks got better, and for whatever reason, it's obviously it's Krishna's part, and then I can see that I start chanting more and more rounds, and I could see that Krishna has his own plan, that that after first year my marks were like totally low, and then for next 3 years I was the like that ranked first in my class for next 6 semesters. So that definitely motivated me. I can see in that stage of my life that that how I can get this material benefit I was seeing. But yeah, I'm happy that I don't know, still I'm in materialistic conception, but yeah, that Krishna helped me to get me through that my initial phases of my Krishna consciousness journey. So that's what I was this chapter I was recalling. Just ask another to you something.
Yeah, I mean, you very nicely captured this journey, right? I mean, this chapter, that title of the chapter, the spiritual journey for this chapter, is also very nice, because there are people in different phases of their path to devotional service, but pure devotional service, right? They are in different stages, and they are going through that journey. And sometimes this journey can be in one life, sometimes it can take multiple lives,
Ah,
basically,
definitely,
right?
yes.
So it's, but as long as we have faith in Krishna, even if actually there is a, I think there's a verse, I'm not good with verses, but there was a, somewhere Prabhupada was writing that even if you have placed first time, it's, that this is specifically with Krishna, not may not be with his other expansions like Vishnu, but specifically with Krishna, even once you have put faith in Krishna and after that you forget, but Krishna will not forget you. Krishna will make sure that you
Yeah,
come back to him again and again. So that is the special thing about Krishna. Yeah.
that is so true. Yeah, if you take one step, Krishna takes 10 steps towards us. So that's what, like, you can see this, the verses that we read together today kind of emphasize that fact, and goes much more deeper into that thought process and that thing. So definitely, so let's continue and finish this verse. Okay. But the devotee in full knowledge is considered to be very dear to the Lord because his only purpose is to serve the Supreme Lord with love and devotion. Such a devotee cannot live a second without contacting or serving the Supreme Lord. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is very fond of his devotees and cannot be separated from him. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 9.468, the Lord says, Sadhavo hridayam mahyam sadhunam hridayam tvaham madanyate na janati naham tebhyo managapi. The devotees are always in my heart, and I am always in the heart of the devotees. The devotee does not know anything beyond me, and I also cannot forget the devotee. There is a very intimate relationship between me and the pure devotees. Pure devotees in full knowledge are never out of spiritual touch, and therefore they are very much dear to me.
Hare
So, so yes, so I'll just stop here. We have just a few minutes here. I'll just leave for if any remark, any questions, or anything we have, or will. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very nice lecture, Prabhu. It was very interactive. That was a great thing. And you you got verses from many other scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam to support your point. So
Yes,
this
although
was a great lecture. Yes,
great,
Prabhu.
I don't know anything, and still I'm saying
No, no, this is a great
it.
lecture.
But definitely, it's, it's great. I could share out also, as I was telling, it's grace. Attention to and his grace Gaurang Darshan to I referred some of his text to get some more synthesis, so that because of the time constraint, we have small time to get some overall picture.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. It was a beautiful class, and you kind of explained most of the verses very nicely, the translation and purport, and bringing different examples, good example, related examples. So it was easy to understand and relate those verses what Krishna's trying to say. So very nice. Thank you for the beautiful class, Prabhu.
Thank you for your association. Thank you for joining and giving me your association. I'm so grateful. It's such a best thing. This is the best thing we can have. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mat chitta madgat prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. That is the only duty of devotees is to mat chitta madgat prana. Like their lives are devoted to me, and they derive the great satisfaction in conversing about me. Krishna saying in the 10th chapter, verse number 11, that and that's why these are the I'm grateful to all of you to come here and join in.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So,
Anyone else has any question and comments in the Zoom call? Online, I did not say, but I know there are people in online. They listen because
no worries.
in
So
the
good.
Sundays they do come and talk to me. So about the speakers and about the Wednesday class. So
Thank you. So
uh,
we'll just summarize before we end.
sure.
So we saw that how the chapter starts and the seventh chapter, and basically we were more emphasizing on the part where we understand that where Krishna says that in the 14th verse, like he described about this gyan, their different elements, and he says that this all the different gunas made of, but he says that Devi Sagurnamai Mama Mayam Durataya Mame Ye Prapadyanti Mayam Yetam Tarantite. But if you surrender, you can go beyond this word. And then the question might arise that, okay, what is that surrendering process and who surrenders, who doesn't surrender? And then he described like, yeah, there are different kind of people, one who doesn't surrender at all. And there are four Duskritis kind of people. And then he says the next verse of four kind of people who start, they says, Chaturvidha bhajante mam, they start worshipping me. And eventually by worshipping me, they become surrendered. So it's not that the first phase is surrender. First they start worshipping by because of various reason, and then eventually they become surrendered, prapadyante, finally, because of they started serving for various reasons. And in between then, so just let little bit more highlight into that. So there are in that there are four kinds of people, he says, artho, jigyasu, artharthi, and jnani. So the first three are in the category of where we understood from a very simple example that they think that this, I'm not good for this world. I'm lacking something. I need something more. I need I whatever XYZ things is needed to complete my life. And and for that they approach the God. They know that the God is the beyond this. They have some understanding. They're pious because they're following regulated life. They're having some principles in the life they're following. Through that, they have some understanding, and the God is the beyond, the supreme Godhead we are talking about. That is the Krishna. They approach him, and then through that approach, and so that is like one category of the people. And the second category of the people, they are the jnani. They already realize that that okay, this word is not good for me. That so they realize that. So they are using this word, being in this word, to approach the God. And and then then we also saw the three stages that people are there. The first stage is that when they start realizing, okay, no, all the world needs to be changed to become me happy. I like whatever I everything has to be changed according to my desire. Then only I can become happy. And then the next stage is when we become internal cleaning. That internal cleaning is going on, and that's what, if you know that 8 stages of bhakti that I somehow missed, is mentioning that we start with ado shraddha tatha sadhu sangha tatha bhajana kriya tatha anartha nivritti syat, right? So is the anartha nivritti is happening like we start with shraddha, there's some faith, and then through faith we get the ado shraddha tatha sadhu sangha, we get the association of devotee. And by association of devotees, tatha tatha sadhu sangha tatha bhajan kriya. With sadhu sangha, what we have to do? We have to do the bhajan. We have to take our big bag and keep chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
To chant, we should share this knowledge with other people. When we do this bhajan kriya, then the anartha nivritti shat. Anartha nivritti will, the anarthas that are unwanted desires within the heart, kam, krodh, lobh, moha, mad, matsar. These are the six enemies, and we go to the next stage that wins off, and then slowly, then anartha nivritti tatha nishtha tatha, then nishtha, asakti, ruchi, and bhav. Sorry, I'm messing up somewhere. There, as nishtha, and then this and the prem, the highest stage we get. So this is
Correct.
just a journey, and we're all in this journey. And the best is that we started with Shraddha and the Sadhu Sangha and Bhajan Kriya. So this is in our hand. So let's do that. And thank you once again for everyone for your association. I'm really grateful for this opportunity to be has this time with all of you. And we'll have a great weekend this weekend. I'm just announcing for the Saturday and Sunday, we have a association of His Grace Mukunda Prabhu, who's visiting us. Basically, he lives in Vrindavan. He's a Vrajvasi. Though he born here in America in body, but he's completely Vrajvasi. So don't miss. He's like one of the great kirtanier, and the session will be on Saturday morning, starting at 8 o'clock in ISKCON of Silicon Valley Mountain View Temple, and again on Sunday at 3:30 to 5 p.m. So by that, I'll just take a Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय.
Yeah,
मुखारविंद प्रभु की जय,
yeah,
शिला प्रभुपाद की जय.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Ashna Madhav, once again for hosting.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you for speaking.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Wonderful lecture.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for joining, taking time from your busy schedule on Wednesday. This online only class, Mukharvinda Prabhu already told you about the Saturday and Sunday program. Please join physically in the temple. It's online also. Next Wednesday we are going to join again online. Hari Bol. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.